Yo everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic kick butt day today so far. So guys, today's video is a very special one because we're going to be starting a brand new series here on the channel that I've been looking forward to making for a very long time. Now the intro of today's video is going to be just a little bit longer than it would normally, just so I can give you guys a little bit of perspective of what's going to be coming out of this brand new series and how you guys can benefit from it immensely. So in its simplest terms, basically what it's going to be is a pool of information for you guys from the most credible source possible that we can get it from, the pro players playing this game hours and hours a day, whether that be a specific brawler in the game or a specific game mode or anything else under the sun that you guys need help with. Now the reason this is the absolute best way to consume your tips or get your strategy for Brawl Stars is because we are going to the most credible source possible, the person that is the most knowledgeable about the topic that we're trying to show you guys or inform you guys about. Which is why you guys haven't really been seeing a whole lot of tips from this channel, because I don't feel comfortable giving you guys solid tips from my perspective alone, because I'm not a pro player in the slightest. I'd say at best I'm a little bit above average, so the best I can give you is a little bit above average tips, you know what I mean? But the biggest takeaway from this is that I want to give you guys tips. I get a lot of comments asking me, how do I play Mortis? How do I play with this brawler? I'm struggling with this brawler, and I want to give you guys the best advice possible, but like I said before, I don't feel comfortable doing it, which is the inspiration of starting this brand new series and giving you guys those best tips possible from the best source possible, those pro players out there that know what the heck they're doing. So the topic of today's video is Mortis and how you guys can improve your game with Mortis from the advice and words coming straight from the mouth of, in my opinion, the best Mortis player in the entire world, Patchy. And of course, if you'd like to keep up with Patchy any further, his social links will be linked in the description down below. So first, what we're going to be doing is going over a small handful of very important tips that you guys can start to implement into your game as soon as you get done watching this video from Patchy, the most important in his eyes. And then we're going to be hopping into some live gameplay with him, trying to show you guys how to play in a specific game mode. So yeah guys, hopefully you all enjoy episode number 1. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below which brawler you need more insight on or specific game modes inside the game. I'll make sure to get the best pro player possible that knows the most information on that particular subject to hop on the channel and give us some tips. So guys, that being said, let's hop into the video. Here we go. So guys, starting off with the tips straight from Patchy himself, and the very first one is knowing your matchups. This is so incredibly important with Mortis because he is a very particular brawler when it comes to the brawlers that counter him, as well as the brawlers that he counters pretty dang well. Brawlers that Mortis is very good at going for are your 3-shot brawlers, the brawlers that you can burst down very quickly, like your Pipers, Dynamites, and Barleys. And then once you start getting up a little bit higher in health, when it takes 4 shots to kill them, you need to start kind of being a little bit more selective with those brawlers. The brawlers that don't do insane amount of bursty damage, such as Poco. Now the brawlers that you want to stay away from with Mortis, or the brawlers that you want to be extremely careful going for, are the tankier units. So the brawlers that take a lot of shots to kill with Mortis. So your Primos, your Shotgunners, especially your Shotgunners. And some of the other brawlers that he has a hard time with right now in the meta are those like Carl as well as Nita. Moving on to tip number 2, and that is knowing where to play Mortis in Brawl Stars. Once again, Mortis is a very particular brawler when it comes to even the maps and the game modes that he's playing in. So the game modes that Mortis somewhat stands a chance on are Bounty, Gem Grab, Brawl Ball, Showdown, and Duo Showdown. And even some of the maps in those specific game modes, he's not that incredibly good on. There's a very critical element that you need inside those game modes, and that is either a good amount of bushes where you can sneak up on your opponents, as well as you need some sort of walls or ways to get away from danger, because you need to be up close right on top of the brawler in order to deal your damage. Now one thing that I do want to bring up about tip number 2 is that Mortis isn't particularly amazing in the meta right now because we have our Rosas, Carls, Jeans, Nitas running rampant in the meta, so it's a little bit difficult for him to push up your trophies, but there are hidden gems, there are maps that he can do a very good job on. And moving on to tip number 3, and that is knowing when to actually initiate an attack on a specific brawler. When it comes to the large majority of people playing Mortis, I find that they play him incredibly aggro, or just too passive that they don't do enough for their team. What you gotta do is play him passive, but wait till someone makes a mistake or they get grouped up together as a team so you can jump in, get some significant damage for your teammates. If you're playing too aggro and you go down really quickly in the beginning of the game, then you lose control for for your team, which will result in you more than likely losing, because control is everything inside of Brawl Stars. So another thing that falls under this third tip, and I've brought this up several times in my videos, is make sure to know how much damage your Mortis does specifically, whether you're a level 6, a 7, an 8, a 9, or maxed out, or any level in this game. Make sure to know how much he does with 1 basic attack, how much he's going to do with 2 basic attacks, 3 basic attacks, and 4 with that super that if you get charged up, you can use at the very end. This is so incredibly important because you need to be able to plan out your attack before you actually dash in. There's specific situations where if you need to use a dash to get close to a specific brawler, then you need to compensate in your mind that I'm going to be able to dish out 2 shots to this specific brawler. If that gets them below half health, then it's going to be a little bit difficult to wait for the ammo to charge back up for those other 2 hits to kill them. But if it's a 3-shot brawler, you can dash up with 1 attack, use your 2 attacks, and then wait for your ammo bar to heal up again, and then go in for your final attack. So guys, those are the few tips that Patchy gave to us himself. Make sure try not to get overwhelmed when it comes to tips. It's a lot more effective if you just practice like 3 or 4 things when you're trying to get better with a specific brawler. If you get too much information, it's kind of like information overload and you don't know what to do with it. So try to practice some of the things that we went over in today's video, master them, and you'll start to feel a little bit more comfortable with Mortis. Okay, so hopping into our first match. Now, with the little amount of time that I've been able to play with Patchy, taking a look at his gameplay, I've noticed that he's very, very passive, and he told me that last night when he was discussing some tips with him. He likes to wait for the perfect opportunity, and you have to keep in mind that Mortis is a very opportunistic brawler. You have to pick openings that's going to benefit you playing Mortis the most. So we're going to be going down here. We have to try and get our super as fast as possible so we can keep him in the fight, but we have this bull. It's a little bit tricky. One thing that I've noticed with Mortis is that he is such a counterable brawler. So many brawlers just absolutely dominate him. Missed the heal. Took out the bull. Let's gain control again. Starting off a little bit shaky, but we should be fine once we establish some control here. And technically the bull is going to be some great super fodder for us so we can keep our dudes healed up and in the fight. And they don't necessarily have a gem carrier. Okay, we're good to go. We're pretty healthy. We established control. Let's go. We're gonna keep an eye on Mortis. I want to make sure he stays in there because he's going for a spike, which shouldn't be too difficult for him to go for. Good. Pick these gems up. See how he's just waiting for someone to make a misstep. Okay. Nicely done, nicely done. And that should secure the win if we play our cards right here. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Poco is such a good gem carrier when you're playing with a Mortis, because you have 3 avenues of healing for Mortis then. One from the Poco super, one from the star power, and the super from Mortis. Absolutely devastating. Pretty shaky in the beginning, but we managed to come back and establish some control. So let's hop into the next one. Let's see how this goes here. So main thing that we just got to make sure that we have good control. Keep feeding our teammates some heals. So they're going 2 people mid. If we can dodge the Jesse shots as best as we can, then we'll be good to go. Because the Gene is doing very minimal damage. If we keep our distance at least. Okay. Ooh, little BM spin. Okay, I thought that heal would have reached. Okay, so Gene's got super, we gotta be careful of that. Just keep our movements very strange. There we go. Oh, guys, that's what you gotta look for. When I'm talking about in our games that Patchy's really good at finding openings, that's like the perfect example. Like normally, it's all about those significant plays where maybe they were just grouped up very goofy for no particular reason. Maybe they just kind of got pushed that way. But you got to be able to identify that and just jump on it right away. Okay, good deal, guys. We're on a pretty good win streak. Let's keep going. All right, who are we going up against? So a Shelly, a Nita, and a Primo. No mid. This should be pretty easy. But if we're taking a look at Mortis' perspective, none of them are super easy to go for. The best opportunity, or the best brawler to go for, is the Nita, which she could be really difficult as well. Let's see how he does against some of these brawlers. So right now he knows that Shelly wasn't even close to her super, so he's able to kind of go in there a little bit recklessly. A little bit sporadic though. You want to jump in, get a couple shots, and then dash away. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, we got fine control. Shelly's going to try and play on the back skirts, which is fine. Let's see how Patchy. I'm really interested. Let's heal him up. Okay. Okay, let's just hang in there as long as we can. Okay, we got the heal. Patchy needs it. Try to hit him up with it. Oh, they got all three. This ain't good, people. Okay, let's see. Good job, Patchy. How's he gonna recover this? Nicely done, nicely done. Okay, here we go. Let's go back mid. Nice. Man, he's got no problem going for the Shelly. Let's hit up with heal. Good deal. But it was in his best interest to do that. It's a perfect trade. Because he drops the gems. Both their teammates were dead. Nicely done. Let's go. He's perfectly aggressive when it calls for it. Alright, so this is an organized team comp. Looks like a better one at that. We're going up against a really good team comp for this map. Let's see what we can do against them. So again, Jean is going to be a little bit challenging. As long as we keep it to this annoying, just short range poke damage, and we just got to make sure that we're getting this poke damage as well. Try to keep it 2v1. We'll take these guys down together. Patchy's kind of on his own over there, though. Nicely done, nicely done. Big thing, we need to make sure to keep an eye out for that Jean super. Yep. Okay. Should be fine, though. Again, let's try to tag team this guy. Okay, I don't think anyone's on the left side of the map, so I think we should be okay. But Nita is on us while our teammates are gone. Gone and away. Nita's chilling over here somewhere. Solid. Took care of that Nita quickly. Okay, Jean's got to be close to getting his super. Nicely done. Making quick work. Let's go. Attaboy, Patchy. Just keep the Nita pressure off him. Nice. He must have auto-aimed that super. Okay, one thing that I really like about what Patchy does when the countdown is going, it seems like he's being reckless, right? He's going out in the middle of it, but he sees that I have my super, as well as you need to keep the pressure away from you for as long as possible. So even if you're kind of pushing up, even if the time is counting down, you are risking dying and you have those gems, it's important to not let the other team just collapse on you and get you in a weird position. As happened to me several times, I'm sure it's happened to you before, where the enemy team just kills you, picks up all your gems. Okay guys, so that's going to be the end of the video. Once again, make sure to let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see next, a particular brawler or a specific game mode that you're having a hard time with. As well as make sure to let me know ways to improve this series. I want it to collectively get better over time. Some things going through my mind is maybe I can play with a specific brawler once we get done with some of the tips, see if we can do or implement some of those tips, as well as maybe dub over some of their gameplay to kind of see how they're playing in game, kind of get some tips out of it that way. But yeah, make sure to let me know. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to slap a like on it. I really appreciate that. Also, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Be a part of the Ray fam. I would truly appreciate it. So guys, with that being said, make sure to keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.